All things in life are cyclical or seasonal. I've been very fortunate in my life over these last couple of years to be around some of the most highly successful individuals. And a few key lessons and takeaways that I've gotten from being around these peak performers, these high achievers, is that growth is never linear. When I think back to my time as a bodybuilder, I can remember that we had seasons of growth where we were focused on putting on as much muscle, as much mass as we could possibly have. But then in preparation of leading up to a show, we would be in a cutting phase where maybe we would even lose some of that muscle that we grew. And it all led us to standing on stage, displaying, representing the greatest version of ourselves at that time. I think a lot of men struggle with breaking free from their pornography addiction because they don't see recovery as seasonal. They stay focused on one specific thing for too long of a period of time, not understanding that there's steps, there's a process, there's cycles that we have to go through to understand deeper about ourselves, to build healthier, productive habits, but then more importantly, maintaining and living these things out on a consistent basis. What I want to do in this episode of The Rebuilt Man is I want to unpack and explain to you the three phases of your porn addiction recovery and give you the tools, the 12 steps to breaking free from this addiction. Now, this episode is going to be a shortened version of a live training we did here very recently. If you want to get access to this training, you can visit rebuiltrecovery.com/12 steps, where I give you the simple 3-step process, the simple 3-phase process to break free from this addiction and create your own porn-free life. That's rebuiltrecovery.com/12 steps, or you can visit a link down there in the show notes below. But men, what we must understand is that our recovery, just like anything in our life, will be cyclical, will be seasonal, and not every day is going to look the same. Not every season is going to look the same. Our first phase of recovery, which encompasses the first 4 steps of freedom, is our awareness phase. Step 1 is we must identify and admit that there is a problem and commit ourselves to changing. Step 2 is we must identify all the ways in which porn has negatively impacted us and identify where we are triggered, weak, and vulnerable. Step 3 is we must write out a plan for this new life that we envision without pornography. And step 4 of the awareness phase is recruiting the support, help, and accountability that you need. Those 4 steps all encompass phase 1, our awareness phase. Aware of ourselves, aware of how we got here, and aware of where we are going in the future, and aware of who we are going to need in our lives to help us break free and get through on the other side of this journey. Phase 1 is awareness. Phase 2 now moves us into action, with the first step of this phase being weekly and daily fasting. Check out the last episode where I talked to you about the 4 ways in which fasting will help you. But we got to start taking action on this every single day. We have to have a daily prayer, meditation, and gratitude practice integrated into our lives. We have to be taking action on how we show up and serve others through acts of service. We got to begin to take action in sharing our story and sharing our struggles with others. This is all us taking action to now begin to become the man that is no longer struggling with this addiction, building new, healthier habits, growing in our mindfulness, understanding more about ourselves, beginning to shape and change how we see other people. Phase 2 is action, and it leads us into our third phase of recovery, which is attainment. By the end of the second phase, you should begin to feel free. You should begin to experience the benefits of living and walking in freedom, heightened sense of self, deeper clarity of self, deeper focus, more motivation, more drive, more energy. All that should be a byproduct of taking action on a daily basis. And we want to attain that in our third phase, with the first step beginning to seek adversity and continuing to do hard things on a daily basis. The second step here in our third phase is learning new skills and relentlessly pursuing new goals. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to change through experience. If we are not exposing ourselves to new experiences, if we are not exposing ourselves to new challenges, if we are not exposing ourselves to having to learn and grow and step deeper into our potential, we are not attaining and maintaining our freedom, we are going to fall back. The next step here is to continuing to keep the promises that we make to ourselves. From the minute we wake up, not hitting snooze, taking action on our daily prayer and gratitude practice, taking action on serving and loving others. And the fourth and final step of this third phase of attainment is becoming a mentor and a support system for someone else. 12 steps have proven this model that if you want to maintain freedom, you have to begin to live in service and help others in their journey to freedom as well. Now, what does this look like for you if you're struggling with pornography addiction? Maybe you join a men's group at your church. Maybe you host a table. Maybe you host a men's group at your home. Maybe you simply just provide a place where men that are struggling can reach out to you. We had a recent student in our program, graduated, stuck around, still a part of our community, still part of our brotherhood, is now leading other men in his town. He's hosting weekly Bible studies. We've had other students that have taken their freedom and begin to serve in other places through Celebrate Recovery, through other men's freedom and purity groups. But if you want to attain and maintain this level of freedom, do hard things, seek adversity on a daily basis, learn new skills, relentlessly pursue new goals, keep the promises that you make to yourself, and become a mentor and support for someone else. It's 3 phases, guys. But if you miss one of these, the probability of you sliding back, the potential for you to fall back into your older patterns is going to be at a much greater probability. So phase 1 is awareness. Admit that there is a problem and commit to change. And like I said, guys, we put together free training, rebuiltrecovery.com/12 steps that'll go deeper into every single one of these phases. But phase 1 is awareness. Admit there's a problem, commit to change, identify the ways in which porn is negatively impacting your life, write out a plan for the new version of yourself and your new life without porn, and recruit the help and support and accountability that you need. Phase 2 is taking action on these on a daily basis through weekly and daily fasting, through daily prayer and meditation and a gratitude practice, through acts of service and showing up and sharing your story to help others and inspire others. And phase 3 is the attainment. Doing hard things, seeking adversity, learning new skills, relentlessly pursuing new goals, keeping the promises that you make to yourself, walking in integrity, and becoming a mentor support system for someone else. That's it, guys. 12 steps, 3 phases, the keys to freedom in your life. Visit rebuiltrecovery.com/12 steps if you want to go deeper and get access to the full training. And guys, if you're getting value out of these episodes, if you're watching here on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, turn those post notifications on. If you're consuming on the audio, drop us a rating, drop us a review. Let us know how we can continue to serve you on a daily basis. We love you guys. Coach Frank at The Rebuilt Man. God bless you, and we'll see you on the other side.